particularly to clarify the issue of the army camp at Paravipanjan in Kilinochchi and visit by the Honorable Leader of the Opposition to that area. As you know, there has been a lot of hype about this particular incident, describing it as forcible entry by the Leader of the Opposition into an army camp. An unauthorized forcible entry into an army camp is how this has been described. And I want to give you a little bit of background to this. There is in Paravipanjan, which is on the main A9 highway to Jaffna, in the middle of Kilinochchi town, just on the east side of A9 is this area. This area has been occupied by the Sri Lanka army for some time now. This, we are not very sure of the full extent of land that they are occupying, but there were 84 families that were displaced from this area as a result of the army occupation of this land. At some point, the army reduced the extent of their occupation, and due to that, 34 families were able to go back to their own properties. As at now, another 54 families are not able to go back to their homes because the army is in forcible and illegal occupation of private property. So if there is any illegality or force that has been by the Sri Lanka army, not by the Leader of the Opposition. These 54 families, or some of them, met the Leader of the Opposition when he went to Kilinochchi on the 16th of April, I think, the day this incident took place. And there was a meeting in the office of Honorable Sridharan just across the road on the other side, on the western side of A9. And there were many people who came for that meeting and complained to the Leader of the Opposition about many things. There were the association of the families of the disappeared, families of detainees who have not been released, and also people from Paravipanjan who told him, our houses are just across the road. They are not even being used by the army. They are locked up and kept, but they are not allowing us to resettle in our own homes. And they invited the Leader of the Opposition to come and have a look at that place. That is how the Leader of the Opposition with two other MPs, Mr. Sridharan and Mr. Charles Nirmalanathan, went to that place. Upon seeing Mr. Sampanthan's vehicle, person who was at the sentry point at the entrance barricade opened the barricade without any question, and the vehicles drove in, and the people also followed him, and they went round and saw all the houses. Various people showed him their own house and said, this is my house. Then another man said that is my house. Army is not even using it. It is locked up and kept. They are not allowing us to go back to our own homes. The army is in illegal, forcible occupation of those properties. I have checked the records. There is a large extent of land. Most of it is private property, owned by people on deeds. There is a very small area of about 5 acres that the army had wanted acquired, and certain acquisition steps have been taken in respect of those 5 acres. But much larger, over 25 acres of private land still remains in the legal ownership of private citizens of this country, and they are being prevented illegally by the Sri Lanka army from occupying that area. Today in the morning, the Leader of the Opposition met the Prime Minister and has complained to the Prime Minister that the army is preventing people from going back to their own houses. And the Prime Minister assured us that he will call for a report from the army on this matter. That is all I have to say about this. If people want an inquiry into the Honorable Leader of the Opposition going into this area, the inquiry must be not about him going into this area. The inquiry must be about the illegal activity of the Sri Lanka army in occupying private residences. That is what the inquiry should be on.